when they're gnarly, destroyed tissue, unfortunately, most of the time you can't put that back together. Oh, nice. If you take a gunshot wound to the arm, wrapping it up could help the bleeding, but if you destroy the bone, it's gonna be weak, obviously. Snow is ice, right? If you put ice on it, it's just gonna make it feel better. It's not gonna stop what already occurred. Deliciously infectious. Nice. Good play on words. Hey, I'm Dr. Jordan Wagner. I'm a board-certified emergency medicine physician. Today on Gamology, we're gonna check out some main characters of some cool video games and see what types of abilities they have to heal in these games, be it potions, medications, or even food. Let's check it out. So, massive explosion. You can have barotrauma to your ears. You see if one of the guys fall over or bend over because of pain to his ears. You can rupture your eardrums in that type of setting. And then obviously any shrapnel devices that you get hit in your skin.
So much for the easy route. Patch yourself up, all right?
You get a health kit to repair any injuries. Depends on what type of injuries you have, but do it where you're not gonna get injured again, right? It looks like he bandaged up his right arm. If he's bleeding, it'll stop the bleeding. Pretty much all that bandage that end up gonna be doing. Oh, nice. Pretty bad shot right to the chest. It's just a shootout.
Damn it.
Bandaging up the arm and saying, okay. If you take a gunshot wound to the arm, one, depending on the caliber of the bullet, always depends on how much damage that you're gonna have. It can hit the tissue and bounce off and go up the arm. It can be embedded, it can go through and through. Most of the time, it's tissue injury. Sometimes it hits the blood vessels, and then sometimes it just destroys the bone. So wrapping it up could help the bleeding, but if you destroy the bone, it's gonna be weak, obviously. So a human body, exposure to cold all depends on what you're wearing. So you can last 3 hours in harsh environment exposed before it potentially can kill you if you don't get shelter or a fire, all these other attributes. Hypothermia injuries are extremely complicated, right? So our bodies are 37 degrees Celsius. You can drop all the way down to where you start shivering, around 34 to 32, but then you start getting confused. Everything below that, you're not gonna be able to walk, you're gonna be confused. You will not be able to open up a box to be able to heal yourself. And then once you become altered, you're just gonna be a sitting vegetable basically out in that environment and you'll die pretty quick. Typically you'll die of cardiac arrest. On the opposite spectrum of things for hyperthermia, basically your temperatures that you can get up to, depending on dry versus humid heat, our bodies can tolerate up to 140s, 50s, 60s, depending on how long you're being exposed to. So once you get into fires, which burns at X number of degrees Fahrenheit, you're gonna start burning your skin, obviously.
House boy!
Oh! Okay, you're breaking through that right leg. That's pretty grotesque. And you're squirting out blood, arterial bleeding, right? Venous blood doesn't do that. Yeah, it's pretty intense and grotesque, and now the guy's actually watching. Big amputations like that are super clean, can potentially be put back together, but when they're gnarly, destroyed tissue, unfortunately, most of the time you can't put that back together. You have to be able to put back blood vessels attaching, bone attaching, nerves attaching. We see it in TV all the time, where people reattach different limbs, fingers, all this stuff. It occurs, but not as frequent as we see it on TV. Fingers is the most common thing that are amputated, so you basically want to put it on ice, but not directly on ice. You want to wrap anything in like a wet gauze and then like a water bath. You don't want anything directly because then you're going to cause freezing of the tissue and then you're going to kill the tissue. So timing is typically about an hour. Those sorts of things, faster the better, obviously. And then the surgeon will be able to tell you is it viable or not to be able to put it back together. Oh man, okay, running away from the beast. Oh, right in the arm, okay, arrows, he's getting impaled. So first off, to be able to rip that out that easily, it's not, because it's gonna get stuck on your tissue. Now, can you do this? You can. If you try to pull out an object, you might be ripping through tissue and causing more damage. Outside of the situation where you're in the wilderness and you have nothing else that you can do, you should shorten the impaled object so you're not hanging out with this massively long spear out of your body. If you're out in the field and it's a survival moment, if you gotta pull it out, you can pull it out, but then you have to worry about the wound that you have. So you gotta make sure it doesn't get infected, and you have to control bleeding. Bandages, compressions, cauterizing, there's a lot of different opportunities to be able to try to stop your bleeding. But it also is gonna hurt like hell, no matter what you do. You got a droid, basically AI or any type of machine trying to be a doctor, healthcare provider. We're kind of moving in that direction, right? We have these different surgical machines, basically robots, where it is still operated by a human using micro movements of their own hands, and then the machine can actually go even smaller, and it's all video cameraed, and basically we kind of move in that direction. Now, is it totally going to replace a human? Not for a very, very long time, because there's critical thinking that needs to occur using the humanistic component versus fix the problem machine kind of thinking. Nice. Looks like vending machines. Deliciously infectious. Nice. Good play on words. Is there such things that you can drink to make yourself better? Sure, we have liquid medications, right? We have pill forms, we have liquid forms, antibiotics, medicines for your stomach. Those are on the level of healing, but kind of like a magic healer, probably not. But say we also take caffeine drinks, right? That is a type of medication that'll get your energy up, those sorts of things. Now to heal muscle tissue, so typically time is your best medication to heal. There's not much in the sense of what you can drink to heal it fast. People take all different types of supplements in an attempt to try to make yourself better, heal better, recover faster. That might be anecdotally true, but there aren't that many studies that show that it significantly reduces your time to healing based on what our normal medications would normally do. We got injectables that are used in the field all the time. You got morphine or adrenaline, basically to get you, treat your pain, and get you moving. That could be antibiotics as well. There's intramuscular injections, or IM injections of antibiotics that you can take. But typically in the battlefield, it's going to be either pain medications or it's going to be antibiotics. Nice. This guy injected something, probably pain medication or adrenaline. So you have morphine, but then you also have epinephrine, right? Adrenaline. Adrenaline we use mostly for allergic reactions or when somebody has cardiac arrest. In this situation, it was either pain medication or adrenaline. If he's using adrenaline in this situation, basically he's just trying to give himself more energy. So this individual is eating a ton of canned foods. Our bodies in healing, we need food. We need nutrition to be able to heal. Now in video games, we take a can of something and we heal immediately. Obviously that's not what happens in real life. But in real life, we need the necessary nutrients to be able to repair our tissues and cells and get our bodies working optimal. All of our bodies are different. Everybody's body reacts differently to different foods. So you kind of do what you need to do to stay healthy and eating the most nutritious balanced diet. The question ends up being, how do I heal muscles? How do I heal joints and bones? Basically, you got to decrease any inflammation that's occurring in your body. So what causes inflammation for us is basically poor diets filled with sugar, and then also obesity and lack of exercise. Eating a well-balanced meal basically allows our bodies to get back to homeostasis. We're made to heal. And so a surgeon, a doctor, a healthcare provider, we give medications to help augment your body to get back to its baseline where you're at your optimum versus us giving you something that magically makes you feel better. All right, so another game where there's eating and healing or trading. So a lot of video games I see, there's always a component of food as healing. In real life, that is the case. It just happens a lot faster in a video game. So it's not totally wrong or obscure. It just, in the time frame that you're playing a video game, you need to heal quickly. So food is what we use to heal ourselves for thousands and thousands of years. We even have medications out there that are plant-derived. Your anesthesia medications, the lidocaine that you get injected with, right? That medication is actually derived from the cocaine plant, the coca plant. And there's even a cardiac medication called digitalis, or digoxin, which is made from the foxglove flower. There's a lot of medications and treatments that we have from foods and plants in society that we use. So from a video game standpoint, it just happens on a lot faster level, but it's pretty real. Oh, all right. Ow, you kind of burn your hand with a knife. It's steel. Put your hand in the snow, it's okay. Perfect. So snow is ice, right? The burn has already occurred. In this instance, it was burned by a piece of metal. Remove the metal, the burn's now stopped. The burn has already occurred, the injury has already occurred. If you spill hot oil or hot water, you gotta get that hot substance off, because until you get it off, it's still burning. But then once it's off, the burning is done. So if you put ice on it, it's just gonna make it feel better it's not going to stop what already occurred. That now your body has to just heal itself. And then depending on how deep the burn is, depends on the treatment. First degree burn will heal on its own, doesn't break the skin. A second degree burn, there's multiple levels of that, but that's when you get the blister and it hurts a lot. Third degree burn doesn't hurt anymore. You've burned away the blood vessels, you've burned away the cutaneous nerves. So now it's like white, black, leathery, uncomfortable, and that actually will never heal until you have a skin graft. Ooh. I wouldn't want to be battling that guy. Looks like he stepped on a stone or hit the ground and caused himself to restore his powers. Obviously, crushing a stone in real life, we don't have that sort of things. But are there different minerals that occur in rocks and stones? Absolutely. And could they rebalance our bodies? Sure. Again, just not as fast as they would in a video game. But they do have probably some properties that are helpful in healing to our bodies.
Do you know how the placebo effect has affected medicine?
Yes, it's fantastic. So there's something out there, obviously, called the placebo effect, basically giving you a medication that you believe will help you, or a treatment that you believe will help you. There's huge research and studies out there that show the positive effects that if you believe that you will get better, majority of the time, you're gonna get better. If you believe something is working, it will work. From a doctor's standpoint, I cannot give somebody, say it's one thing when it's something else. I'm doing a disservice to my patient and pretty much illegal. But if somebody believes that their medications or their supplements or their food is going to heal them, and it heals them, perfect. Pain pills, they work. There's a ton of different types of pain medications out there. We got Tylenol, ibuprofen, and then there's the next level of like Tylenol number 3 with codeine. They all work differently on our bodies, and there are different means to make us feel better. Max Payne took some pain medications at the gym that he got. So 600 milligrams, that's probably ibuprofen, most likely. So you pick up ibuprofen at the grocery store or the pharmacy, they come in 200 milligram tablets over the counter. So you can take 3 of them, no problem, if you're an adult. Other pain medications don't typically come in that form. I mean, you can have a Tylenol suppository that's 600 milligrams, but a suppository doesn't go in this way. It goes the other way. Wolverine's a cool character. He can heal himself. That's how actually ended up how he got his metal in his body, right? He went through some sort of surgical procedure, and they were able to give him rare metals. When it comes to Wolverine's ability to heal, he heals so fast that he doesn't even get infections. One day, maybe we'll be able to develop and have a genetic code that changes, that allows that to do that, but I think that's many, many, many years away. All right, that was totally awesome. All these video games have medications, potions, and food to be able to heal. We have the exact same stuff in real life, so it's awesome to see in a video game. Check out Gamology on YouTube and Facebook to see more reactive videos like this one and every other one. Yeah. Because there's even like cancer therapies, like where people are getting rectal enemas of coffee. How much does it work? But if they really truly believe that it works, your body responds in that way. Yeah, we're very cool, unknown beings.